Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Success Shift. My name is Jake, and it's just been Thanksgiving for all my Canadian listeners here. I know that when I was in Canada, Thanksgiving was a big thing, and it was really lovely to get around friends and family and give thanks and show appreciation and a bit of gratitude for the things that we have or the things that we may have lost or the things that we appreciate. I know the Americans, I think they celebrate it in a couple of weeks from now. It's slightly different dates. Don't ask me why, but I just know it's different. So to all the Canadian people listening, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great weekend or long weekend. Got to catch up with family, got to celebrate and be amongst friends and loved ones. Chuck some gratitude in the chat, especially those of you who had just had Thanksgiving. I'm sure you've got a lot of things to be thankful for. For me, I'm very thankful for my friends and my family and my ability to explore and work from home and do all the wonderful things that that an entrepreneurial life entails, even though that may be with struggles and challenges. Sometimes, as we just found out in episode 150, it does not come without struggles. Well, for me, it has not come without struggles and challenges. So I want to show thanks and gratitude for everyone who shows up. We try to run this 3 days a week, but on this point, with lots of things coming up for me, I have got a holiday coming up middle to end of November for a few months. And I'm trying to get this mindset course finished by then before I leave. So there's lots of stuff on the go. So for that reason, I will be reducing this show to 1 time a week just for the next few months and while I'm on holiday. I have thought about it quite a bit. I love doing this morning mindset. However, it does take a lot of my time and effort to provide content and to keep growing and to bring in like quality information to you guys. And the option was to stop for a while or to just reduce it down. So we'll be reducing this down to 1 day a week so I can continue on. We can have the progress. We can still catch up. We can still find gratitude with each other, and we can still move forward our learning process. But need to take a little bit of the strain off my daily/weekly to-do list. And got to find out where priorities sit, and we're about to move into sleep training, and I'm assuming this is going to be quite a difficult challenge for the family. So any area that I can reduce back a little bit so that I can focus more on my son and his growth is my number one priority. So with that, no mindset calls the rest of this week. We're just going to be Tuesday only. So to all my lovely people who show up every single morning, I do apologize, but I have to pick my priorities, and family for me always comes first. So that's what we'll be doing. But I do want to stay with you. I do want to catch up on a regular basis. I know that last week we did a bit of a Q&A, so we can look at doing some more of those as well if people have questions, and if people have some more direct feedback that they want and growth. As you do develop in your trading psychology journey, you will find that you hit stages and waves and levels where you learn, you grow, and then you find something else that you may need to change and adjust. And this is just part of the process. And I really love it as you see people who have been on this call for a while. I've just had a message from someone this morning saying they've just been funded. So another person getting themselves funded through the through their hard work and discipline. And it just really is awesome to see people making those steps forward. And so you'll get to a certain level. Maybe you'll find frustration. Maybe you'll find something else you need to change. Maybe you'll find another aspect that you need to grow. And then we can address and attack that. And then you change and do something new and learn some new things and change the pathways. And then you'll get to another stage, and maybe you'll see frustration. Maybe you'll see an area which you can grow. And this is just how you level up and layer up. And so if you do have those personal questions, as you reach these certain landmarks, or as you get to these points where you're like, okay, now I need to do this to get past this next level, then please reach out, because this is the whole point of these calls, is to get the mindset and trading psychology down packed so that we can level up bit by bit to get ourselves funded and to get ourselves to those big 6, 7, 8-figure trading accounts that we all desire. Okay. So again, much love to you all. It is a bit sad for me to reduce this because I do love these morning calls, but again, I do have to find that priority. So I appreciate your understanding and your patience. Okay, a little bit in the chat here. God, I appreciate all that you provide. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude. So grateful for this group and wonderful long Thanksgiving weekend. Grateful this morning to be back in routine. Yes, 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 no problem. I'm in the middle of moving. Please give me your email address. I'll send you my plan to have one. Oh, okay, cool. I'm just going to drop that into the chat here. And anyone, if you do need, joys of coming obviously to these calls is you get more personal interaction. So if you need anything, here is my email, questions, all that kind of stuff, feel free to hit me up. Okay, today I want to talk a little bit about so through the transparency of what I like this call to be. Like I said, I do have a lot going on at the moment, and I feel like this has actually started to get to my trading. So yesterday I jumped on the call, or jumped on the charts, shall I say, that we didn't have a call, but I jumped on the charts and I went to trade, even though I said to myself prior, I'm going to take the long weekend and not trade. And so what have I done immediately? Straight away, I have broken my promise to myself, and I've started the slippery slope of not being disciplined and strict with my rules. Okay. So this is my very first mistake. My very first mistake was saying that I'm going to take the day off and then jumping on the charts and having a quick look, seeing a setup that looked quite nice, and then thinking I can make some easy points. Okay. So I did this, and unfortunately that turned around. It turned around quickly, and I struggled to cut my losses because I didn't fully accept my risk. I didn't accept the risk that this could possibly be a loss. I saw a setup and I was like, this is great. Love this kind of setup. It's going to go for me. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, maybe it would have. But in this particular case, I truly believe the universe was teaching me a lesson. It did not. It's one of my favorite trade setups, and it turned around very quickly. Gave me my exit, and I ignored this. What happened then was the slippery slope that hasn't been present. I had this one time 2 weeks ago since that, but other than that, I haven't had this for a while. But it came back yesterday, and I think my psychology was not in the right place because of other things that were going on. I ended up taking a loss, and then almost immediately jumped into another trade and took another loss, and this started that slippery slope. And I think by the end of the day, I took like 3 losses, and then jumped back on later and took another 3 or 4 losses. And this was detrimental to a lot of things for me. It was really... Did you close your eyes? No, Kayla, I didn't. And this is a big slap on the wrist for me. That's a very good point. And I noticed that afterwards in my journal, I was like, I didn't close my eyes. Old Jake came running back, and he brought all of his bad habits with him. And this led to a cycle of, oh, you're a failure. Is this any good? Are you any good at this? Blah, 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 blah. The negative self-narrative and all that kind of stuff that sometimes comes with, these big slipbacks. And so I got to thinking, and I was like, right, what have I done that I can now change? What have I done that I can be aware of? And how can I move forward from here? Because old Jake sometimes would get into these stage, and I would get very negative on the self-narrative, and I'd get very down. And thank you very much, Kelly. I really appreciate the kind words in the comments here. But I would have this spiral, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been through these places where you trade really well and then you have a slip up and then you spiral, and this affects ongoing days, ongoing weeks, whatever it is. It can affect other things in your life. And unfortunately, when you do fail, it does take a bit to get back up. Jake, we are human. Yes, exactly. And this is something that I've learned, and this is why I call trading the best personal development program in the world, because as you grow, you develop the skills to get back up. And so it's not so much that in trading, but in other areas, I'll do the same thing. But now, because of my trading, I've managed to go, right, reset. What have I learned from this? What could I have done better? And what should I hang on to? And the short answer is hang on to nothing, because you can't change the past. What can I learn from it? A whole bunch of stuff, which was kind of what I listed off to you. And I went back to the very original point, and that was I first originally didn't do what I said I was going to do, which started that slippery slope. And then that psychology led to the next, which led to the next, which led to the next, and spiraled down. But what I can learn from it is, as soon as I slip from my rules, then these mistakes happen. And as Kayla said, did you close your eyes? I didn't. And this was one of the things that I've implemented into my trading. For those of you who don't know, I have an after trade checklist. And so when my stop loss gets hit, I've got on my first thing on my checklist is close my eyes immediately. And this is like a habit stack. So once I close my eyes, then I can take 6 long, deep breaths. And what this does is it eradicates the emotion from what's just happened, and it moves me into a more calm and steady state. Then when I open my eyes, I've disengaged from the charts. And so I've separated from what that trade was. I can now look down at my emotional trading journal, and I can journal. Then I can add my points, take a sip of water, then reassess, and then look back to the chart. So this is the very first movement in my catalyst of habit stacking to disengage from the emotion from a loss of a trade. Now, I didn't do that, and this again started that slippery slope. So I jumped into a trade way too quickly and took another loss. And then what actually happened was I took a win, which gave me that like, oh, no worries. And then you can kind of trade again, which was again not the thing you want to be doing. So overall, we went down. But what I took away was that what happened yesterday has literally no impact on who I am as a trader now. We are human, and this is what I love this group for. Like the whole time I've been saying, it's like, no, Jake, you're amazing. We are just human, etc., which is just the best support you can get. And the reason I share this transparently is because I want you guys to see that as you go down this journey, you will develop as a person. And as I have gone down this journey, I've developed as a person and realized that yesterday you make a mistake. But old Jake would let that affect me and become that person more so today because of, oh, I did that, so therefore I am like this, so therefore I got a blah, 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 and the narrative continues. But what you can do is go, you made a simple mistake, not a problem. We can easily get back to that really good disciplined trading that you know you're capable of and that you actually are. So what I wanted to do today was look into a little bit about how sometimes we set ourselves up in these failure loops, and it can seem really hard to get out of them, and it can seem really hard to kind of break free and move on. And I think a lot of people who've been at something for a while and failed, a few times, kind of get to a point where they're in this self-perpetuating motion of failure, and that just becomes the norm. And what I want to say is that you can hit the reset button anytime, at any point, like today, now. If you ever felt in the point like, oh, I've failed this week and that week and that week, or I've taken this loss and this loss and this loss, just know that at any point you can make that decision and you can change and hit the reset button and go, no, that's all in the past. I can move forward in a different trajectory with a different mindset and really attack this from a positive attitude, which tells me that I am successful at trading. Okay. I totally understand what you're saying. I've been there. Yeah, I know that I'm not alone on this. But I know that in the past, I'd also hide from it. Okay. And having this platform gives me an opportunity to acknowledge to myself that I am growing and not hide from it. I could have chosen not to speak about this. I could have just moved on. But I do want to bring these things up because I know that I'm not alone. And I know that these can be turning points in people's trading career that we need to find the strength for to move on from and not dwell on, rather than get us down and take us out for a little bit longer than it needs to be. So understand that you can hit the reset button at any point. At any point in your trading career, if you've had a slip or if you've had a bad week, a bad month, whatever it is, understand that this is part of the process. And in the long-term game, we can easily move forward from that. And I don't want to use the words forget about it, because we should be learning from these experiences. But really just forget about the negative side of it, okay? And often, so many people, we do this thing called moving the goalposts. And so what I could do right now is I can say to myself, all I need to do is go in there, and if one trade presents itself, just have one nice trade and let that be good, and let that reinforce the success of who you are and allow that to grow. But often what we do is we do this thing called moving the goalpost. Now, I've spoken about this in the past, but so often let's say we're trying to lose weight and we go, I'm going to eat healthy this week, and you eat healthy for the first day. And then rather than going, yes, I ate healthy today and that feels great, and being in that moment and approving and being grateful for the success that you've caused, what our brains immediately do is go, great, now I need to do it for the rest of the week. I've done it once, now I need to do this. And we keep pushing the goalpost. So you originally wake up with, I just want to eat healthy today, or all I want to do today is go for one jog. You do that jog rather than coming home and being like, yes, go me. I did that jog. I feel great. Let's enjoy the rest of this day because I've done the thing that I said I was going to do. So often we go, right, did that jog. Now I got to do tomorrow, and I got to finish off this week strong. And if I don't, then that's a failure too. And we keep pushing these goalposts. And I know a lot of people in trading, you have a good day and you're like, okay, now I got to have a good week. Then you have a good week. It's like, okay, now I got to do this next week. And it keeps going and going and going and going. And we keep pushing these goalposts, and we keep living in the future only to set ourselves up with the possibility for disappointment. When really, all we need to do, the same as, how often do I say when we're trading, all you need to do is focus on this one candle. What's happening right now? Does this candle close with the ability for me to secure profits? Does this candle close with an option for me to exit the trade because it's going against me? Does this candle close with me needing to do nothing? And as the next candle closes, okay, what do I need to do as this candle closes? And just be thinking about the present moment. The same kind of thing happens with these little tasks and these little sessions and the trading from day to day. How did I do today? Great. Yesterday means nothing. Tomorrow also means nothing. But how did I do today? I can be proud of that. Or how did I do today? I can learn from it. Not, I did a good day today, but it means nothing because I need to do a good day tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even though Saturday's closed. You get the point? But focusing just on the now and not trying to put so much time pressure and future focus into the success. If you succeed every single day, 7-figure account's going to come. If you succeed 4 days out of 5, as long as you can reduce how much that 5th day is a loss, success will come. If you can succeed 3 days out of 5 and reduce how much the failure or non-success, whatever you want to refer to, is on the 4th and 5th day, success will come. But if you start going, I need a successful day, and now I need a successful week, and now I need a successful month, and now I need a successful year, without giving yourself any leniency for mistakes or slip-ups, it's going to become very difficult to feel that level of success. And the thing here is it's like a cycle. You can spiral down and you can spiral up. You can have a failure, you can live in that failure, and you can wallow in that failure, I guess. And this can lead to a lack of confidence, which then can lead to another failure. Or the opposite is true, where you can have one small success, feel grateful for that success, and feel confidence in your own ability because of that one success, and then continue the process with a little bit more confidence. And when you do that, chances are you have another success, and these successes compile, and then that becomes your identity, and your identity becomes someone who is successful at trading. And you start going from, oh, I've got one good trade, but I don't know what I'm doing, this is so frustrating, to I'm a really good trader, but I've made a couple of mistakes. You see, a couple of years ago, I would say that the last 2 weeks was just like a fluky couple of weeks, and I'm still learning and I don't really know how to trade. But come down the track a little bit further, and I'm a very successful trader, but I've just made a couple of mistakes, and I need to just reduce those mistakes a little bit, both in magnitude and in frequency. And there is no doubt in my mind that the 7-figure account is going to be mine. You know, it all is about the way we look and perceive our own success and failure. And far too often I see people move the goalposts so they don't give themselves time to linger in the success, but we will linger in our failures for much longer. Put some ones in the chat if you have some failures that you've been holding on to for a couple of weeks, but those ones came in very quickly. Okay, so I'm not alone there, right? Those ones came in like fire, because that's what we do. We hold on to our failures much more than... Now put some ones in the chat if you've got some successes that you've been holding on to the last couple of weeks. Actually, put some 2s in so I can see the difference, if there are any. Okay, a couple of people. Good. They didn't come in as quick, but there's definitely some there as well. So I want you to think honestly, do you spend more time focusing on the failures that you've made, or do you spend more time focusing on the successes that you've made? And I think most people will find that we spend a lot more time focusing on the failures. And now this isn't to say that you should spend time on them, learn from them, and take your lesson and move on, but do not sit and wallow in them and go, oh, I did this, like I'm thinking about this trade, but last time this happened and it was going against me, and this fear of doing the same thing again, this fear of repetition comes in. It shouldn't be a fear of repetition. It should be an excitement of repetition, because you want to be focusing on successful things. Remember that time when I did this? Remember, yesterday when I jumped on the call and I made 3 killer trades and we all had a great session? Remember that time when I took the call and on a Friday and made 3 awesome trades? Yeah, those are the things we want to be focusing on. Those are the successes we want to hold on to. Okay? Does this make sense? Yes. There's the person I was referring to in the chat. You know who you are. Good job. The thing is, we need to focus on these positive sides and not the negative sides, because there's so much shit in life that is going to feed you negativity. But what we need to focus on is the things that we can control. Good morning, Victor. What is it in life that we can control? Some of it we can't, some of it we can. Some of it will impact us in a way that may make us feel good, make us feel shit, make us, who knows. But if you cannot control it, there is no point in letting us get affected by it. Now, again, I'm not saying be robotic. You are human. Things are going to affect you. But let that only affect you the smallest amount if you cannot control it. Now, could I control my emotions? Could I control if I took the exit? Could I control if I jumped into the second and third trade? Yes. Those things are all things that were in my own control. So therefore, these are things that I can focus on, and these are things that I can feel, should I have done this better? Should I have done this worse? What can I change? Can I control the way the markets move? No, I can't. Can I control the emotions I had to the change? Yes, I can. See the difference here? So I can't focus on, oh, this went against me. Why the hell did this happen? the market's against me. No, it did what it did. It's always going to do whatever it wants to do. We have to be on the right, controlled, rational side of our emotions so that we can make the best of the market movement. Okay? The one thing I want you to take away from this is everything is temporary. The only thing that is truly real is that which is in the present moment right now. Okay? Everything is temporary. The loss, the hurt that you're feeling, it's temporary. The wins, the excitement that you're feeling, that too is also temporary. Everything will pass with time. What we feel in the moment is kind of the only thing that is real and present. And how we feel in the moment is up to us. Take some deep breaths and reboot your brain. Exactly. Emotion is so strong in the charts because our relationship with money, the society that we live in, puts so much of our own control relative to the amount of money that we have. And so, of course, we hold a very big attachment to our financial state, understandably. But the more emotion we hold to it, the more it's going to affect our actions and our movements and what we do and how we respond. So understand the only thing that is really important is how you respond in that exact moment. And on the charts, if you feel yourself going down this slippery slope, if you feel yourself, if you are the kind of person that does what I did yesterday, where you take a loss and then you get emotional and you start to hammer that button, put actions in place to stop that. I actually have a hard rule, which is two full stop losses and I'm done for the day. And I can honestly say that I have been ignoring it, even on good days. And that's not a good thing. And I think I have gotten away with ignoring that rule for a little bit, but yesterday showed me that if I don't follow that rule, there is going to be days where it really hurts. And yesterday was one of them. So I really want you to take this lesson and use it to understand that everything is temporary. And all we need to do is focus on each individual trades and each individual trading day. And when we have successes, live them, hold on to them, be proud of them, share them. When we have failures, look at them, learn from them, and forget about them. Far too often we do the opposite. Far too often we live in our failures, wallow in them, and go, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and associate who we are with a particular failure. But it needs to be the opposite. We need to reverse this. And I want everyone to shift their perspective on the way our human brain does this thing. Okay? Stop moving the goalposts further away so that you're never living in your success. I did this just myself. I released my trading plan course, and literally 2 days afterward, I was on to the next thing. I didn't even give myself time to be proud and to be happy that the accomplishment that I've achieved. Then my wife was like, Jake, take a second. Be proud. Look what you've just done. Cool your jets. Reset your brain, as was in the chat. You know, be happy with what you have accomplished. And that will lead to the confidence that will bring the success to do more and to grow and to become whatever level of success you so desire or you so categorize. Okay? I want you to also think, what actually makes you happy? What are the things that actually make you happy? Now, I know for a lot of people, you know, we have a financial situation where a little bit more money would make us instantaneously happy. But if someone was to dump, you know, 50 grand on you, it would make you happy. It would probably clear away a few things, but it probably wouldn't mean much because it just came out of nowhere. Your own ability to achieve this and to do it in a certain way, and not only that, to learn the skill set so that it's not just a one-time flash, is probably going to make you a lot happier. Now, it might not seem it right now, but once you're in that situation and you've made some of these accomplishments, it's like, well, did I just get that given to me, or did I actually work hard? Did I grow? Did I become a new person? And did I learn the skill set? So I really want you to think about what actually makes you happy, because at the end of the day, most of the stuff we're doing is just to bring happiness. You know, love brings happiness. Success brings happiness. A feeling of accomplishment brings that happiness. Spending quality times with friends and family, you know, tends to bring happiness. And this is kind of what we're going for in most of the things. And let's not get lulled into a false sense of happiness. Let's say that. Be okay with failure. Be okay with mistakes, but don't wallow in them. Learn from them. Spend time in your successes. Be happy and proud of the things that you've accomplished. and just take life a little bit easier. Does this make sense to people? Chuck some ones in the chat if that's making sense. I know a lot of the time we put a lot of pressure for success in this thing we call trading, because for a lot of us, it's kind of like a make or break, or it's kind of the I need to get this so that, I need this so that. The more we need something, sometimes the harder it is to obtain. Focus less on the long-term outcome and more on the individual day-to-day processes, and be happy with every day that you succeed in that process. Take that happiness with you through the rest of your day and into the other things that you do, or vice versa. Find something that makes you really happy and do that and bring that into the charts, because happiness and confidence radiates through all things that you do in life, not just one, and not just trading, not just family time, whatever it is. It's all kind of linked. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up there. Life is short and tomorrow is never promised, so enjoy the present. Yeah, exactly. What's that other saying that's like, tomorrow is the future and the past is gone, but today's a present. That's why they call it a gift. I don't know. I butchered that one completely, but it's something along those lines. It's in Kung Fu Panda. It's the first time I heard it. I'm sure it's something stoic or from the Tao. Anyway, I digress. To our traders, let's go jump on the charts. I appreciate everyone showing up today. There will not be a mindset call tomorrow or Thursday. We're going to be just Tuesdays only. So make it the one day that everyone shows up. Make it the one day you commit to. And if you've got questions and things that we can really dive into, use that time. Send me messages if you want to dive into something in particular, and we can really address these one by one. I was thinking about how I could move forward with this, and I think the best thing is just to reduce the amount I do per week so I can still find enjoyment amongst all the other things I have to do before I leave and that I've got on the go. So it'll be down to one time a week, but I will maintain that all through, travels and what's upcoming, so that we can stay in contact and so we can get our weekly psychology fix. Okay. Much love to everyone. Let's go jump on the charts and make sure that you do all the things you know how to do, right? Make sure that you've got your journal out. Make sure that you have your checklist in front of you and that you read it, unlike me yesterday. Make sure that you are doing the things you know you need to do beforehand, like brain warm-ups, reading your news, lot size calculations, all the stuff. And make sure that you are really journaling those emotions, because those are the places that you will learn yourself. It's that connection between conscious and subconscious. Subconscious behavior is what we're doing. The conscious is us looking at it and going, why are we doing that? The more we journal, the more we connect, and the more we understand ourselves. Okay. Much love, everyone. And we will speak again to you all next week. All right. Bye.